Welcome to New School of Architecture and Design. This is the info session on the product design program. My name is Elena Pacenti.
And my name is Dario Miticocchio. We're now going to walk you through a quick presentation to give you a better understanding of how our program is structured and how you can benefit from it.
The product design program is part of the School of Design, a New School of Architecture and Design. My name is Elena Pacenti and I serve as Dean of the School of Design. I have originally studied architecture at the Polytechnic University of Milan and discovered after that my passion was in disciplines related to products, media, services, and to the design of everything is meaningful user experiences. So I ended up my studies with a doctorate in industrial design and with these studies. That since I moved to Domus Academy in Milan, which is a famous, prestigious design school. And as head of the design there, I moved to San Diego to establish the School of Design. The product design program was established at NewSchool in 2014, thanks to that collaboration to the Domus Academy, and now completely independent and part of NewSchool. The program has since grown a lot and graduated already 4 cohorts of students. Rooted in the philosophy of design that is human-centered and that put people at the center of every design process, the program takes advantage of its location in San Diego, California, where innovation takes place and where most innovative industries have their headquarters. So the program philosophy is learning by designing, and there's no other way of becoming a designer than working on real-life studio projects with the guidance of professional designers from all over the world that brings their experiences in the classrooms. Our mission is to nurture an innovative and inspired designers who can think and develop system solutions to aesthetically, functionally, and emotionally improve people's life. What does that mean in practice? In practice, it means that our students work with professional designers as instructors, and our stellar faculty is composed by experienced individuals who have worked in famous companies all over the world, like Toyota, Nike, Sony, Logitech, just to name a few, and covered lead positions internationally. The students won't focus on a specific industry only, but they will design a variety of objects and systems for many kinds of industries. And you'll see many examples of projects in a few seconds. The program is structured in a 4-year of full attendance, or 3 quarters a year. The first year is what we call the foundation, design foundation, where principle of design and the design culture that is at the basis of all design disciplines is studied, as well as the basic skills like drawing, visualizing, measuring, modeling, and have the hands dirty with design and understanding shape, form, rhythm. The second year is basically focused on industrial design with an emphasis of the materials, production processes, manufacturing processes, and 3D rendering techniques and softwares, and everything related to the design of relatively simple artifacts and how they can be prototyped and fabricated. The third year is dedicated to the comprehension and the design of digital products and their systems. So we study interaction design, user experience, branding elements, and in general, design of relatively complex systems, product design systems. The 4th year is basically the final project where students apply all the knowledge and the skills that they have learned and produce their final individual projects, following their passions. And so embracing their favorite design fields or industry. It could go from automotive to to a new system for delivery of food, and we had all kinds of incredible final projects. Let's watch a short video filmed at NewSchool, and then I leave Dario to walk you through some examples of students' work.
So for me, design covers every dimension, from tangible to intangible aspects. It's mainly about the relationship between human beings and objects.
I chose product design because it has so many different interests and fields that I could go into, whether it's yacht design, bike design, all the way down to toothbrush design. I mean, there's so many opportunities, and it's just so exciting for me to be able to solve all those different problems.
It's in that relationship between things, objects, environment, and human beings that I found my passion to teach design.
Studio life for a design student here, it's really great because we're working in a space with other majors. So there's interior design, there's media design, and there's product design. We get to communicate with each other, we get to kind of bounce ideas off of one another. It's just a really good environment to get creative in.
Most of the professors are working professionals, and it's so cool because you get to go to their workshops, you get to go to their buildings, and you get to learn kind of what they're doing. It's just super cool to be able to work with all these professionals and know that whatever they say, I mean, it's going to be something that really impacts your future, and it could bring up other opportunities down the road.
Let's look together at some of the projects that our students have been working on. Here, for instance, we can see a project that we did with a local startup focused on home goods for young adults. And this project was specifically looking at the college-age population. And our students did a research with students and interviewed them about life in the dorms and what were their requirements in terms of storing their belongings in their dorms. And these are some of the solutions that came out. This is a desk organizer designed by Marcelo, who was a student from Brazil. You can see some of the details of his project. And then again from Marcelo, this was a wall organizer, and this was a very cool project with basically a Velcro wall using the prints that were already part of the language of the brand, and with a bunch of accessories that students could place at will and reorganize on this wall piece. We did a number of projects with audio equipment brands, since in the area there are a few manufacturers of audio equipment. This is a clip. Basically, it's a tiny little speaker that you can clip on your clothes, and uses a new technology that allows to focus audio in a beam so that it's only directed towards your ears and people around you cannot hear it. Joseph Maria Serra, the student who designed this, was frustrated by the fact that headphones can be uncomfortable, but at the same time, loudspeakers can be disrespectful to others. So he was looking for something that combined a solution for those two problems. And this is what he came out with. Again, for Paul, this is again Marcelo. Marcelo was a very prolific student in our school. This project won a nomination at the IDEA Awards, the National IDSA competition. And this was a speaker that also projected light and images in the room to create a very engaging visual and auditory experience. Another speaker project, this time for Denon. This was for the kitchen, so it was designed to withstand the type of abuse that something like this will have to suffer in a kitchen. This was a project that we did in collaboration with the city of San Diego. It all started from a research on what are some of the strongest community building behaviors in an urban environment. And the research led us to analyze the phenomenon of urban farming. And urban farming is a growing phenomenon and has a very strong community building potential because there's an inherent mutual assistance built into these behaviors. And so the students designed a series of solutions on how to make this more functional. In this case, Marcelo again, he created, among other things, this little webcam that is solar powered and tracks the health and growth of your little urban plot, so that you can control it remotely, but also you can connect with other people who have a lot in the same area, and you can share assistance and responsibility in how to manage your plot. This is a project about the future of law enforcement. And it was this element specifically is an accessory that the students conceived as part of the uniform of the new policeman. And it's a little drone that can be deployed from the agent's uniform and can go and interact with people remotely, so that there's no threat, and start engaging with before violence gets involved. And here is a project, a thesis project. This is another thesis project, an autonomous vehicle designed considering all the complexity of interaction that autonomous vehicles create in the urban environment, interaction between the vehicle and the infrastructure itself, and interaction between the vehicle and pedestrians. So there's a long study on how this vehicle messages externally what it's going to do, since you no longer have the opportunity to have eye contact with the driver as a pedestrian and try to understand what they're going to do. You're now having this conversation with the vehicle itself. So the way the vehicle communicates is a key part of this project. This is a very interesting system design project where students were asked to design a solution for transporting sick people in inaccessible areas in very poor neighborhoods. Specifically, the place that the students focused on was the favelas of Rio de Janeiro. And by observing footage from the favelas, they realized that a lot of people in those places already ride motorcycles. And so they conceived this little trailer that it basically can turn a motorcycle into some sort of ambulance, which is actually better for those environments because roads are normally too narrow for real ambulances. And this can speed up transportation, but also it creates more engagement with the community because the drivers themselves will be people from the community that sign up, just like Uber drivers, and they will participate in this program by responding to calls and picking up the trailer and picking up sick people and receive fuel credit as a reward. And as part of the project, they also designed a campaign to entice drivers to sign up and become part of the system. So it's interesting that they chose this name Uber Angels, which is a really cool idea, which also indicates the idea that there will be a corporate sponsor enabling this whole platform, and that would be Uber. Again, a system design project, in this case for prenatal care. They designed a system of devices and virtual platforms to help ease the anxiety of new parents. Let's look at a short video.
On track? What should be the size of my baby today?
Based on your last exams and my calculated predictions, your baby should be about 14 inches long and weighing about 3 pounds.
What can you do with a product design degree? The product design degree is probably the most versatile that we offer because that's a very rapidly evolving field. And unfortunately, the professions that you'd be applying for when you graduate most likely do not exist today. Half of the profession that you're seeing here did not exist less than 10 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago. So this is a very exciting field, and it's very dynamic, very versatile, like I was saying. You can apply your skill set in a variety of different directions. And just some examples, the most traditional one is industrial designer, so designing physical products in a corporation or as a consultant. You can design concepts which can be the beginning of a physical product or can lead to other things like marketing platforms, for instance. You can design interfaces or, in general, broader digital experiences. You can be a design researcher, which is basically something like an ethnographer, someone that observes people and discovers their latent needs for product development. You can specialize on building CAD models for production, or you can specialize in choosing color, materials, and finishes, for instance, which is this is a profession that generated in car design and is becoming very common in all fields of design, including also in interior design. You can obviously become a design manager. It's a great degree if you have an entrepreneurial spirit, because currently digital platforms make it very easy to become an entrepreneur if you have a product idea and know how to develop your own product. And then if you like to work more at the human scale and interact physically with your client and build one-offs for special projects, that's also a very viable direction, which is growing significantly. And this idea of the furniture designer / fabricator. So designing for a small series, but being involved through all the process of fabrication and production. So these are just some of the examples of where the product design degree could lead you. And like I was saying at the beginning, this is an evolving landscape. So more names will appear on this list, probably by the time you're done with your studies.
Thank you, Dario. Hope we really gave you an idea of what the program is all about and what you can do with this degree. please do not hesitate to contact us and learn more about NewSchool. So visit our website or call our 619-684-8766 number or email enrollment. We hope, thank you for being with us today and hope to see you soon at NewSchool.